Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris in our Roma Galactica series. This is the first time that I have sat down to record since my rant. Since recording my rant from a few episodes back, and I wanted to take a second to talk about it because I got a lot of really great feedback, and I appreciate those of you. And by the way, I know it wasn't really much of a rant. A few of you were like, "That's not a rant, Hadrian," and you're right. But still, I appreciate those of you who helped me take that moment of frustration and turn it into something constructive and a good discussion. So my main beef, I think, with the ship designer is I want to be able to rename the auto best blueprints. It makes perfect sense that you can't just create your own auto best blueprint, because this is the game making an automatically best version of that particular ship type for you. So why would you want a second one? It would just be a duplicate. So the only beef, again, that I have with that is I would love to be able to rename stuff. So what I'm going to try and do, and I'm actually going to do it right now on camera, what I want to try and do is actually customize my custom ship designs a little bit, and just to take another step down the road of eventually integrating this more into the game. I'm not going to act like I'm some expert, because obviously I'm not. I haven't used the ship designer a lot. But let's start with just the Corvette and then jump in and talk about some other stuff and go for this episode. So with Corvette, right now the Auto Best has shields. This does not, and I definitely want shields. So if we put in improved deflectors here, automatically it'll be there. So now this Corvette has both shields and armor, and then those are the medium-sized slots. So I think it's best that I put those in the medium slot. If you want to see what the difference is, can I potentially, okay, right click clears it. Good to know. So yeah, you can tell how much I've used this interface. So just to see what the difference is between a small slot. All right, see, a small slot of the exact same tech only gives me 2.5, whereas a medium slot is 5. So yeah, I would rather the medium slots be reserved for armor. And then I'm totally fine with that being a cold fusion reactor again. So let's stick with that. And then hull-wise, there's only one front for the Corvette that I can choose, which is the Interceptor. So I've got the 3 weapon slots and then the slots that I was just messing with. So everything else I think is good. And then what I'm going to do is auto upgrade this as needed. Now, I don't think... Ooh, I can actually put in regenerative hull tissue here. Oh, that's awesome, because we have that now. All right, so that's handy. Now, for whatever reason, doesn't have enough power. Oh, gotcha. All right. So -10 up here. I'm guessing maybe I need to put the shields in a lower slot, or maybe the armor in a lower slot. Let's do that. Actually, I probably didn't need to clear them both that way, but... Okay, so now we have extra power. Now, if I put the regenerative hull tissue in, will it balance? No, actually didn't take up any power at all. Nice! Okay. The other option that I had is I could have maybe gone for a weapon that was less of a power drain. For instance, hang on, let's put a level 3 Rogan in there. Well, no, that wouldn't have made that much of a difference, but... Okay, so that's that. Let's go with that for now, and I'm going to dive in and do some other stuff. But that is the Aurelius class frigate. I'm sorry, Corvette. So that's that. Now, I have been playing a ton of Stellaris since Utopia came out, in addition to playing this particular series. So we've got a new... Have I started a new sector yet? I can't remember. I've got 2 sectors at the moment, so... Yep. Yeah, that's right. We hadn't named this one yet. What was I going to name it? I completely forgot about this when I sat down to record, so I don't have the list of suggestions in front of me, but I do have some ideas from areas that are near Rome, and I'm not necessarily trying to go in order. You know what? Yeah. This was one of my first instincts. This is an area across basically the if you're on the eastern coast of the Italian peninsula and you cross that small body of water, you end up in Illyria. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because when you look at this, if you imagine Italy here and a body of water that you have to cross, this would be Illyria. So that doesn't make much sense here, because Magna Graecia would be down here. But I'm going to go with that nonetheless, because it's cool. And then we're going to speed the game up a little bit. And, oh, wait. That's another thing I needed to do. Let's go ahead and since we've got some unemployment, we have to work on our planets in general. Let's get our Xenozoo built there. And then down here, I think since there's nothing innate to this slot, I'm going to go ahead and just put in the Autochton Monument. And we're going to put in hydroponics farm there. We need to clear this blocker. We've got plenty of money to do it, so let's just clear them all. Going to upgrade that. Now, people have rightly pointed out that I am incredibly deficient in physics research. So any upgrades you see me do to any research buildings, they're all going to be towards physics for the time being, for obvious reasons. Okay, so that's going to be an awesome resource boost to that planet when it's done. Let's go ahead and go for the... Yeah, let's do a frontier clinic. A little bit better growth time. This is a big planet. That'll improve the economy situation here just by helping it grow faster. And then what else do we have? We have Baltris Continentum already working there. Sasharim Continentum. I've already... You might have noticed I've done some changes to the spelling of some stuff. I was spelling Continentum with a U. The word Continentum is actually with an E, so I fixed that. And then also, let me show you one more thing I changed, just so everyone can be on the same page, because we did talk about this. All of the Truncatus worlds are now Tropicus, to reflect the fact that they're tropical worlds. Just keeping it simple. It might not be the perfect word for it if you're really, trying to go for the right Latin, but I feel like intuitively that might be the best fit. Better than Truncatus. So I did change that as well. Sorry, just a few quick story notes for those of us following the more narrative aspect of the series. Half of you are watching going, I don't care. Show me battles. We're going to have battles very soon. I just need to get the economy up and humming as much as possible. Barnard Continentum now. Oh, another Xenozoo here. Nice, we have 2 Xenozoos we can set up. It's going to help with migration attraction and with just happiness in general. People like having the zoo around. And that planet's fully built up. So let's do one more check. Make sure that I've built everything I can for now, which I believe I have. The unemployment problem is definitely gone. Those have been queued up to be cleared. So of those... Okay, we're good. Let's unpause. The signal originates from the remains of an antenna-like structure. Exploratory probes were dispatched from the RSS Zephyr to the surface to investigate the matter more closely. What Science Officer Bruno Quadrini found was a cavernous vault that, when easily pried open, while easily pried open, was evidently the last... Hang on, what's going on? Yeah, research it. I thought I paused the damn game. Pause. Thank you. While reasonably technologically advanced, it seemed that they never reached for the stars and perished to some planet-wide natural disaster. So this was the last safe house and refuge of some long-dead race of aliens. The vault is immense, housing thousands upon thousands of black boxes that the RSS Zephyr has determined to be data storage devices. A special project has been prepared to decode their contents. That could be handy. So we need a level 3 scientist? Well, we've got one. Bruno's level 5. I am so glad I learned Control-Shift-Click. Also, another thing that I want to note. I have actually noticed that I've got Details Map Mode turned off. I have started playing with it turned off. I know I said a few episodes back that I wanted to keep it on because that's how I was used to playing, but I started playing without it, and it makes life so much easier because you only see indicators on a system, whether they're colonization indicators or resource indicators, when you need to, when something hasn't been exploited yet. It's great. The vault is a tomb for hopeful immortals. Science Officer Bruno Quadrini asserts that the huge blocks of ternary code found in the databanks are neural images, digitized brain scans. Doubtlessly, the aliens of Medgar 5 considered this to be their only shot at any kind of survival following whatever calamity befell their planet. They did not have the means to resurrect themselves, but banked on the impossibly small hope that eventually someone else would have those means. So we could let dead aliens lie and get 500 engineering research, or we can say, we do not, but download the neural patterns anyway. I kind of want to go this route because I don't take it as often when I get this option, and I feel like that could be something... I mean, it's going to push this to the end anyway. We're going to complete Engineering Facility 2 research from doing this. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. There we go. All right, so we have that. We'll be able to do better on engineering research now. Not that we need it. We need better physics research, damn it. But, ship hull points. Ooh, yeah. Let's go ahead and go for Garanthium ore next. Someone was like, hey, I think you need more Teldar crystals. Yeah, you're right, I do. That's really helping with my kinetic weapon damage, though, so that's going to be good. Let's go ahead and upgrade our current ships. So we actually don't have any of those new Corvettes we designed at the beginning of the episode in the fleet right now. And we have our science ship, I think, heading up to investigate this other planet that I need to investigate. Also, this construction ship, I probably need to go ahead... I need to set up a few frontier outposts. I need to have one here, so that this territory doesn't get taken over by... Well, I'm not really worried about that, because this is a fallen empire. Someone had said, well, you need to make sure you seal that off so no one takes it. Well, who's going to take it? Fallen empire is not going to expand unless they wake up. All right, so the amoeba flagella have been researched. Very good. But I also need to do probably one there to connect Illyria to the greater empire. But we'll do that when it's a bit more relevant. Let's see. For now, hydroponics farm. Are we good on food? That's another thing I want to talk about if I get a chance this episode, just based on the way that my understanding of the new Utopia and Banks changes have been implemented. Yeah, let's go for hydroponics farm too. Just to make sure we don't run into a food situation unexpectedly. Alright, yeah, we still have Balawar down there. I have decided to... let's go ahead and build mining stations here. I have decided that I'm going to follow a guide. I'm not going to do it this episode, obviously, because it's going to be a while before we're really, really ready to take on that fortress. For some reason, someone has towed an asteroid into a stable orbit around Medgar too. Okay, interesting. Yeah, and I know that might be disappointing for those of you who wanted to see me just kind of charge into it. There's a part of me that's kind of disappointed myself. Trade deal, what do we have? Do you want Teldar crystals for that many minerals? And this is the Quiptelium state. You know what? Sure. Why not? So yeah, let me keep things paused while I talk about this. I know that some people might have wanted, just like there was a part of me that wanted to do this, myself rather than following a guide. But what I really... Oh, that's right. We already built a frontier outpost there. Nice. So what I really decided on, after a while, I started to notice a lot of people were saying, you need to follow a guide. You need to follow a guide. And I wasn't really hearing from a lot of people saying, you should really try it yourself. And so what I gleaned from that was that there is I had a pretty good sense that that there wasn't a high chance of success, that there was a greater chance of failure than of success, possibly a much greater chance of failure than of success of getting the most beneficial things. And there was also a pretty good chance that I could lose badly and just have a lot of damage done to me because I went about it in kind of a bumbling way. So I will actually use a guide, and thanks to those of you who have given me links to help figure that out. All right, now this is done here. Let's go ahead and build some more mining stations and research stations. Well, that's good. Once we colonize that world, we might be pretty close to uniting this area. And then we have these guys here.
Construction complete.
These primitives. So we're going to need to keep an eye on them too. Lots going on. We have actually a good number of frontier outposts. Now, do I have... I can't remember. I think I have a tradition that makes them a little bit cheaper. Yeah. For the purpose of colonizing and building frontier outposts, systems count as being half the regular distance away. There it is. Frontier outposts outkeep reduced by 50%. So that does help. And I like that they made that, a tradition, especially in the early game, because... Well, it doesn't have to be an early game tradition, but I liked it. I like that they made it one that you can access early on if you go for it, because frontier outposts, you want to build them, but they take up so much influence, right? Huh. Yeah, let's go ahead and reduce our army upkeep. It's only going to take 9 months. We still need to improve our physics research wherever possible. I have a lot of influence. Hang on. Let's do some upgrades really quick. Actually, lots of upgrades. Lots of food production. Good God. Somebody tell me in the comments if there is a faster way to do what I'm doing right now. Is there like a shift click or a control click you can do? You know what I mean, where you can upgrade all rather than when you have a bunch of buttons like this. Like if you have the resources, just click a button, upgrade all. If not, there should be. Okay, you... I think I would rather have you producing... No, you know what? Let's have you producing food, too. Let's go all in on the food a little bit. Now, like I was saying, I have a lot of influence at the moment, so let's take a look at edicts and see what we can do. I don't really have any cities that need, or have any planets that need more happiness. Lesser building cost and greater building speed. Yeah, what I need to do is maybe... How are my leaders? I have room for a lot more when it comes to leaders. Earth has a governor at the moment. I could use sector governors. Someone was asking me about this in a comment, and I thought I would address it in this episode. Typically, what I do with sector governors is, because slots are so limited in the early game, I tend not to go for governors. I tend to, have more scientists and like military leaders instead. But in this case, we have 5 open slots, and maybe that would be, maybe in this case, since we only have 2 sectors for the time being, maybe that would be a good way to improve our sectors a little bit faster. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Let's get some governors installed. Magna Graecia sector. That might also help faction-wise. Yeah, see, that we have an intellectual here. This is going to help with our engineering, physics, and society. All of our research is going to be better if we instate Aisha Onwatagwu. Onwatagwu? I'm going to go with Onwatagwu. And then also the Illyria sector, we could... Yeah. And this is a new sector, so it makes perfect sense to install Bruno Rossi as someone who can help us build things faster there. Okay. So we still have some additional leader slots as well. So yeah, that might actually work out. Typically I don't do that, but that could help us with our research.
System survey complete.
What else is going on here? Okay, we're still building in a few areas.
Research complete.
What do we have? I'm kind of tempted to go for this right now, but we need... Should I go for fighters? Or should I go for better armor first? Let's go for better armor, because we're going to be going to war pretty soon. I think we're going to conquer the Gurite Holy League, because they're already inferior compared to us in every way. And I think it would be pretty quick once I've really got my fleet built up. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do that, shall we? We are at about 2/3 of our naval capacity. So right now we need more Corvettes, frankly. So actually, why don't we go ahead and build some of our new Corvettes? Now see why... Okay, hang on. Why are they cheaper? Ship designer. Interesting. These are identical ships, but saying one is cheaper than the other. Did I just misread it? No, I didn't. Huh. That's really strange. I wonder why. Okay, can I build an engineering bay yet? Yes, I can. I'm going to go ahead and do this on Earth before I build anything else. I'm also going to go ahead and build one of those on Barnard Continentum. You know what? I'm going to build them everywhere. This is something that I discovered in my more recent play. If it's not clear why I'm adding these, hang on, I'll show you. Notice, I never noticed the distinction here before, but the orbit modifier for these is they repair ships faster, but the ship modifier is -5%. So when you build ships at shipyards, orbital stations, with engineering bays, all of them have less upkeep. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be going for that in all of my core systems. So any planet in my core system that I build with will now, those ships will now take up less upkeep. Okay, atmospheric readings from Detheris 5 do not match simulated projections. Well, look into it for me, please. So yeah, let's go ahead, and once that's done, we want to queue up some Aurelius class, specifically how many? 13? Done. All right, so that's going to put us up to 30 Corvettes. What's this? Oh no, Earth's governor died. Speaking of needing leaders. So let's go ahead and institute a new leader here. We don't have slaves at the moment, so why don't I just go for Krishna Pujari, and he's just going to have better experience gain. So not as good of a leader, I think, as our previous one. All right, army upkeep research is done.
Construction complete.
Let's go ahead and look into Xenohydraulic Mastery just so that we can clear that tile blocker if it shows up. We don't really have swamps on our planets right now, but hey, you know, immense ragged plains of shadow. Okay, shadow play. Cool. All right, so awesome. We need to colonize this right now. Pilgrim 3. Let's send a colonist ship from Sirius. So this is Pilgrim Continentum. Up. There we go. Meanwhile, anything else for us to build? Ooh, hang on. No, it's not in our space yet. There are some other tricks that I've learned, both from commenters and just from playing a little bit more Utopia offline, that I can't wait to show you guys, and I'll kind of get to them. You know, I'll just arrive at them organically and show you as they arrive.
Construction complete. Incoming transmission.
Oh, incoming transmission? What do we have? Sorry, I was trying to make a quick note of something. And okay, you want terraforming liquids for Teldar crystals?
System survey complete.
Sure. I've got plenty of Teldar crystals. I'll trade with you. Plus, that's the Tendrakians, so yeah, their fleet power is still superior to ours, and their technology level is still superior. So we need to keep building up to the point where they feel a little bit less superior compared to us.
Construction complete.
All right, let's go for a level 6 spaceport around here. Nice, new tradition. What do we have? I was going for prosperity, I believe. Yep, unlock private colony ship. And we're going to get that unity bonus after the next tradition. So now we have access to the private colony ship, which is really just a colony ship that you can purchase with credits, and you don't have control over which particular pop. So you don't get control over the ethics that found each colony. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade some of my spaceports here. It's expensive, I know. But right now we're making plenty of minerals. I've had the game pause a lot this episode, haven't I? Sorry about that. Just had a lot going on. And making a lot of... Again, we're still trying to do what we can, not to let too much time pass without, you know, being ready for these guys. Research complete. What do we have? Adaptive bureaucracy. Empire leader capacity +2. Leader pool +1. I like the idea of improved leader pool. Auto-curating vault. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to do that. 10%. That's an empire-wide modifier for better unity. That, my friends, is a hell yes. So let's go for that. Classis Missinensis is slowly building up. We need to start our second navy soon. All right, there we go. Now, can I build battleships yet? I don't think I can. No, we haven't added battleships yet. Yeah, we need to go ahead and start our second navy. So, Classis Missinensis is in orbit around Sasrim Oceanum. Now, let's take a look at their spaceport. Yeah, they have crew quarters, so that's helping with the reduced income. I want my next... Let's take a look at our rally points. I'm going to disengage this as a rally point, and I want Earth to be the next rally point, because I want all of my new ships to rally here. Now, let's go ahead and go for 10 more cruisers. Let's customize the cruiser, though, before we do this, because I want them to be Trajan-class cruisers. And again, feel free to give me feedback on this, guys, because this is my first time using this. I want to make sure I do this well. Okay. So it looks like in the auto-best version, they are mixing in shields like so. And then the weapons... Interesting. Hang on. The weapons are very different. Oh, that's because I haven't. Interesting. Okay, autocomplete works, but it didn't replace all of these with the automatic vest. So with these, I can pick different stern types. I could do a broadside stern or a gunship stern. So they just basically the broadside stern gives me better weapons, bigger weapon slots, whereas the gunship stern gives me the ability to have two smaller weapons. I like the idea of two smaller weapons back here. I actually kind of like the idea of point defense back here. Oh, but I can't. There's not a point defense slot. Good to know. And then artillery core. Now the hangar core does have point defense slots. The artillery core has the most large weaponry. And then the broadside core. Actually, no, the broadside core has... Well, no. Artillery core... I see what it is. Yeah, let's go for the broadside core instead. And then the broadside bow. Or the artillery bow. So the artillery bow has the one large weapon slot. Why don't we go for the artillery bow up front? And then we'll have an advanced railgun up front, and then we could potentially have more later on. So this just changes the look of our cruisers here. Now down here... Alright, right now my power is incredibly low, so we need to have... Okay, so now some armor, perhaps. Nice. Nope, not quite. Still playing with it. What if I had you here and then a cold fusion reactor there? No, that wouldn't work. What if I did instead... No, it makes sense to have the shields there. Okay, I'm going to go with that. There's a bit of a power surplus. Oh wait, no, there's not anymore. Where'd it go? Oh, that's why. So the extra. Okay, so there's a bit of power surplus. There may be other ways to make that work out, but again, I'm looking forward to feedback from you guys on how to make that work. So this is the Trajan class cruiser. We want to auto upgrade that as needed, and we're going to keep an eye on it throughout the series to try and do better with it. But let's go ahead and queue up a whole bunch of Trajan class cruisers. Now, I actually can't queue up a whole bunch because they're expensive. I can only queue up one. But we're still going to do it. Pretty soon we're going to be able to build cruisers here. Alright, so let's queue one up here at Barnard Continentum. One more. There we go. Incoming transmission. I don't see anything. I'm not crazy, right? I heard that. Incoming transmission and nothing popped up. Okay, we'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one here. And in the next one, we're going to keep building up this second fleet. I'm going to have to keep an eye on my income a little bit, because we're not just in a position where we can miraculously, build a ton of ships. We still have a fairly limited energy income, but it's a high energy income. So we're going to have to do what we can to keep an eye on that, but I'm optimistic. Also need to keep an eye on my core planets here to continue building them up as rapidly as possible. Oh, yeah, definitely need to go for a science lab there as soon as we have the money for it. So yeah, stay tuned for the next one. We're going to build up our navy, and that will not only make it a little bit harder for the Tendrakians to think about invading me, but also, let's see how they're looking right now. See, fleet power is already equivalent. We've already made a difference just by cranking out a few extra ships. So now we just need to level up with them, to even up with them rather, technologically. And we're going to go for the Gurite Holy League in the coming episodes, so stay tuned for that as well. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New science fiction, simulation, and or survival content airs every single day at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.